Lee Fang of The Intercept did some great investigative work here, and he uncovered a really disturbing fact about Congress. So when it comes to tax policy, he explains, the reluctance by congressional leaders to tackle tax dodging is nothing new, especially given that some of the largest companies paying little to no federal taxes are among the biggest campaign contributors in the country. But there's another reason to remain skeptical that Congress will move aggressively on tax avoidance. Former tax lobbyists now run the tax writing committees. He continues here, a number of lobbyists who represented world-class tax avoiders now occupy top positions as committee staff. Many have stints in and out of government and the lobbying profession, a phenomenon known as the reverse revolving door. In other words, the lobbyists that help special interest groups and wealthy individuals minimize their tax bills are not only everywhere on K Street, they're literally managing the bodies that create new tax law. I remember when this used to be an anomaly. So, during the Bush administration, there was a big deal made out of the fact that he took former oil and gas executives and former people who worked in that industry, and he decided, guess who's going to be the head of my EPA? People who were formerly involved with oil companies. So why would you do that? And their argument being, well, I mean, come on, they're used to all the rules and regulations and stuff. You know, they've been in the business this whole time. Yeah, but they know all those rules and regulations because they're used to evading them. Like, that's the last person you want to do that job because they spent their whole life on the opposite end of that. It's like taking a career criminal and saying, now you're going to be the cop. Well, why would you want that? That doesn't make any sense. So that was a big deal then. Now, literally, in every conceivable way, you have the wrong people doing different government jobs. So when it comes to writing tax policy, the same people who are experts at doing tax avoidance and tax dodging for rich pricks, they're the people who are writing the tax law. Guys, you ready for this? The whole point of them having those positions is to let rich people dodge more taxes and get away with more bullshit and shift more of the tax burden onto middle class and poor people who are already overburdened with paying a tremendous amount of taxes. It's like a sick joke at this point. You know, I love how in the U.S. you have people in our government and people in the pundit class in the media, mainstream media, who will talk about like, oh, come on, you know Russia. I mean, they're just basically an oligarchy, and the amount of income inequality they have there is crazy, and the people running the government are just looking out to benefit themselves. What the fuck do you think we have going on here? Seriously, what the fuck do you think we have going on here? Did you know that the Walton family, which is 6 people, they have more money than the bottom roughly 50% of Americans? 6 people have more money than half of all Americans. Over 150 million Americans. Okay, how is that not laughable? How is that not just totally and utterly backwards and going to lead to some huge systemic flaws and problems? But no, we get to turn around and lecture Russia because they have oligarchs. Well, yeah, we have oligarchs just that we don't name here in America. Like, they're still fucking oligarchs. They've still bought the political system. For fuck's sake, one of the Koch brothers literally made that argument recently. They were like, hey, you know, the last time in the election, we spent a decent amount of money, and we didn't get the guys that we wanted elected. So they went on to say, well, obviously, we're going to have to spend more money to buy the system we want. Why should any democracy function like that? No, you're admitting that you're going to have people within the system have enough wealth to just buy the country and rig the government 100% in their favor. And then the rest of us are just along for the ride. You know, you have to hope that the fucking barons are kind enough to not totally crush you under their feet. What a ridiculous system we've set up. And then we have people who know the most about dodging taxes for rich people are writing tax law. I wonder if they're really going to look out for regular people when creating tax policy, or if they're going to listen to the people who've paid them, the rich, so that they can fucking dodge taxes. And then, by the way, when they leave these positions as writing tax law, they're going to go right back to helping those people dodge the laws that they just wrote. Unbelievable.